Talking about chapter 9, James went out to clean up, and then he went to the giant fish, and then he felt something, and then it happened. There was a hole under the giant fish, and so maybe James went to adventure. Now, quite exciting, and go for chapter 10. What James going to do? It was quite a large hole, the sort of thing an animal about the size of a fox might have made. James knelt down in front of it and poked his head and shoulders inside. He crawled in. He kept on crawling. This isn't just a hole, he thought excitedly. It's a tunnel. The tunnel was damp and murky, and all around him there was the curious bittersweet smell of the fresh peach. The floor was soggy under his knees. The walls were wet and sticky, and peach juice was dripping from the ceiling. James opened his mouth and caught some of it on his tongue. It tasted delicious. He was growing uphill now, as though the tunnel were leading straight toward the very center of the gigantic fruit. Every few seconds he paused and took a bite out of the wall. The fishy flesh was sweet and juicy and marvelously refreshing. He crawled for several more yards, and then suddenly, bang! The top of his head bumped into something extremely hard, blocking his way. He glanced up. In front of him there was a solid wall that seemed at first as though it were made of wood. He touched it with his finger. It suddenly felt like wood, except that it was very jagged and full of deep grooves. "Good heaven," he said. "I know what this is. I've come to the stone in the middle of the pitch." And then he noticed that there was a small door cut into the face of the pitch stone. He gave a push. It swung open. He crawled through it, and before he had time to glance up and see where he was, he heard a voice saying, "Look, who's here?" And another one said, "We've been waiting for you." James stopped and stared at the speakers, his face white with horror. He started to stand up, but his knees were shaking so much he had to sit down again on the floor. He glanced behind him, thinking he could bolt back into the tunnel the way he had come. But the doorway had disappeared. There was now only a solid brown wall behind him. What a adventurous and also very, very imaginative. How could James crawl into the pitch and met the stone in the core in which there was seed? Good story.